Maidstone, Kent. Sheena, a stage 4 cancer victim, was evicted from her home by bailiffs while police stood by and watched. When the people tried to stop the eviction, the police actively stopped the people from helping Sheena. Sheena was eventually evicted and left out on the street in her wheelchair in the freezing cold. The police failed to protect her vulnerable status. On the 16th day of March 2024, the people had the power, and the people used the power with non-violent direct action to then retake back Sheena's home by first evicting the security out onto the street, just like Sheena was when she was evicted from her own home. On YouTube and Facebook, Sheena explains a little bit of history. Some of you may already have heard about another journalist social media broadcaster, Laura Nina.
Question, lady, would you have done this to your mother? Would you have evicted your own mother if she had cancer? Would you have done that?
Would you have done it if she didn't have cancer?
Would you have done it?
This paperwork on you.
No, I'm not taking no
I'm just
paperwork.
there
Why are you doing someone's house?
It's a voucher from
Put it in her bag,
Oh,
please.
Trevor,
For
strap the bag.
shame.
I urge anybody watching this video to now head on over to Laura's YouTube channel and watch the interview that myself and Laura did with Sheena. This took place shortly after Sheena was back home after the security were evicted by the people. I myself will be uploading in a couple of days my own video documentation of the day, which will also include Laura and many others speaking about what happened to Sheena in the past few days. In the meantime, here are two police officers who turned up on blues and twos shortly after the security was evicted from Sheena's home. Southern police officers south of Watford. I wonder if they recognise that there's a difference between the Watford Gap. Obviously these are south of Watford, I'm north of Watford. Yeah, I'm just doing a quick video blog about being north and south of Watford. The police officers in the north...
I'm really sorry, say it again.
North and south of Watford.
Is that where you're from?
I'm from the north of Watford.
Right, okay.
So the police officers in the north, there are some good ones, but there's some very bad ones as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And I do wonder what's the morale like in South Yorkshire police especially. But I've never actually met one to ask.
Yeah.
What about south of Watford police? What's the morale like in your force?
What's the morale like? Oh, it's up and down, isn't it? Depending on what you're
Up and down,
dealing with.
depends what's going on, what the situation is, what the climate is. It's, yeah, it changes, yeah.
Like with any job.
Yeah, absolutely,
Except
yeah.
ours is a bit more extreme sometimes, so.
Obviously, some of you police officers have turned up on blue lights, and obviously that must mean an emergency.
What, today?
Yeah.
So, when a call comes in, we get told the level of response is required. Yeah.
So your response wasn't blue light?
No, we came on blue, I think.
We came on blue lights because we get limited information, okay? So I turned up after my colleague. My colleague had arrived already. All we knew is the large-scale disturbance with lots of people. That's all we knew. We've turned up, there's lots of people. We've come on blue lights to assist our colleagues because we don't know what's going to happen. But sometimes we go to calls like this and it all goes very badly wrong.
Some of the police officers who turned up 2 weeks ago, there was one with ginger hair, I don't know his name, you might know him. His attitude was all wrong, I thought, in the police. Don't comment.
Okay.
Obviously, internally, you'll all know about that. You'll have probably seen the video even. Would that be fair to say?
I've seen a video, I'm guessing that's the one you're referring to.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a bit unhappy with the way police act when they act like that. So, in your professional opinion, is that the right way to act?
I haven't seen the video, genuinely.
I've seen the video, but I'm not going to comment on my colleague's behaviour, okay? It's not suitable for me to do that in this context, alright?
Can I ask you then, is he under investigation?
I don't know. Genuinely, I don't know.
So, if you take that uniform off, would we have a different conversation, do you think?
Potentially, but obviously at the minute, I'm functional capacity, okay? I can't really comment on too much stuff, alright?
That's fair enough.
Okay.
Good, fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know what more to say to you apart from you're under arrest.
Okay.
Alright, nice.
Alright. Alright, mate. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
You all right?
Thanks, yeah, cheers.
Okay.
You still? Oh, right, it's still good.
Okay.
I'm speechless.
Oh, yeah. Oh, why?
Are you speechless?
No.
Well, keep on talking then.
It'd be hard to get me speechless.
I've not really got much to say, okay?
Yeah,
You're not asking us any more
If
questions.
you've
No.
got more questions, then fair enough.
No, I'll be honest with you, I've
Okay.
got no more questions for you.
Okay.
Alright. Are you good otherwise?
Oh, I've got no more questions for you.
Okay.
All right. Well, I have one for you. How long have you been here for?
No comment.
Okay, all right.
Unless it's an interview under pace, I might give you a comment.
An
All
interview?
right.
Under
And it's
pace.
under pace. So, at the minute, that's not going on, okay? So,
What, you're not going to arrest me?
Why would we?
why would we arrest you?
Well, that's what I said to South Yorkshire Police when I dressed up as a police officer.
All right, well,
Oh,
that's
okay.
probably for impersonating a police officer.
Do you know what? 18 months later, they threw out all charges. You know why?
Why?
Because it came to light that 2 weeks earlier, I arranged with the police force. I was standing outside your police station dressed as a police officer making a film.
All right.
Another police force watched the video on YouTube and come and arrested me for it. Because they didn't like me. Do you like me?
I don't know you.
I don't know.
You seem
You.
alright,
I
mate.
can't make a comment on you. You seem okay.
You know, you do both seem all right, but I think, you know, you need to take something away from today, that stage 4 cancer victims, they shouldn't be evicted from the house with the help of the police. I'm going to leave you with that one. Thank you very much for speaking.
All right, mate.
cheers,
You have a
mate.
good day.
You too. You will hear the lead police officer, who wasn't a police sergeant, did admit to this being a civil matter.
We're here today, we had a little meet up in the park and we decided to come back and repossess this lady's house.
In this world we're living in, you know, a lot of justice that's going on at the moment isn't really justice, is it? It's, you know, criminal. And the acts that's happening out there, you know, a lot of us are wising up to the information we're being shared, and we're all sort of looking into things now, and we're all understanding, you know, the massive fraud that's been going on.
Is it fair to say, though, in fairness to some police officers, they are actually very good police officers and intend and mean...
Well, I don't know if they're good police officers. I mean, I'm sure some of them are good people. I'm sure some of the judges are good people, but we know there's also an awful lot of bad. And we know that when it goes wrong, our constitution is being abused, our human rights are being abused, and international laws being abused.
I find that a lot of police officers these days don't seem to have much knowledge in the fact that they don't seem to be able to think for themselves.
Maybe that's for a reason, because the people above them are involved in the frauds and criminality.
Do you think that's why they're employed by the police now?
Well, yeah, and you've also got the terrorism acts, and the fact that people's council tax goes into a proportion, 10, 11, 12%, whatever your area is, into paying for police force. When police, you know, the basis of terrorism is attack on people and their property. So what are the police doing when they allow it to happen? They're being paid from council tax, from government, from the state. And what we've got is basically state capture. If people look up state capture, that's what's going on. We've got a number of very bad individuals that have got into senior government. They're abusing their position, and this is the result. People are getting hurt.
So they went in, they took the house, they got security guys, I'm not shitting you, they got these guys, they're living in her house, they're getting paid however much an hour. When we got in there, the security girl, she sat there with her feet up, watching the telly, eating a packet of Smarties, or Maltesers or something, and they're getting paid to do that. That's their job. Whilst this lady's got to find accommodation in a hotel or something. Anyway, she's back in her house now. We managed to gain access. The security have called the police. The police are here now, and the security are complaining that they've been evicted, that they've been assaulted and evicted. So we got to feel for the poor security. But today it's a job well done. It's a victory for the people.
Police are individually accountable under this. But when police do break the law, they're individually accountable under the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015, Section 26, where it's an offence for a police officer to exercise improperly the powers and privileges of the constable. And the fact that they're coming out like this, they should know the law. And when they don't know the law, there's a problem. And then you get a mixture of misfeasance, malfeasance, non-feasance.
Hello, what's the emergency? What's the emergency?
You need to serve you that.
What's the emergency?
Things will not change until people start to rise. Debt is nothing more than a silent war.
I'm reporting on today. Can you just tell me why you're outside your place of work? You can't litter. You can't litter. That's going to blow away. You're a terrible example of a police officer, that. He's just littered on your car. I'd just go and have a word with him.
Go away, please.
Who are you?
Okay, well, who's...
Just your number will be fine. Just your number for reference. What's your number?
Go away.
What's your number? Just your number for reference.
Go away.
Sir, I'll tell you something. No, you litter.
Go away.
Pick your litter up. I got it on camera.
What litter?
That litter you put down. Go and pick your litter up. Pick your litter up, you naughty man. How many security officers were there here today? Were there 3 or 4?
It's just like I'm talking to CNN. I don't like CNN.
I don't like CNN. Do you know the BBC? I don't like them either. Do you know what I call them? The British bullshit.
We've exercised our common law right of recapture,
Yeah.
and we've lawfully...
What are the circumstances around that? Are you recapturing? Why?
Her house was illegally stolen from her last
By
week.
who?
By bailiffs with fraudulent instruments.
Just to advise you, you're better off sitting in the police car for details because it's public here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks very much.
Well, just take her to the police car.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
I don't think you do, you know.
Well, I do. I appreciate your tone. I understand
Tone?
totally what you're saying.
My tone?
You're good.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm
Just
actually
give them
think you're
space.
good.
Oh, thank you. Well,
I think you've been trying to be helpful.
some would disagree, but I'll leave you to that. Thank you anyway. Thank you. Your colleague there littered on that car, and I tried to tell him off, but he wouldn't have it.
I don't know about that, okay?
He'll tell you all about it, car. Do you know what? I think in the heat of the moment, he didn't realise. Would it be fair to say he didn't realise?
No, I wasn't littering. I was putting a piece of paper that someone handed me on the bonnet of the car.
That's littering.
And mine.
What's your number? 61753.
That's it.
How do you pronounce that? Am or him?
That's correct.
Am I correct?
Yeah.
And what's your number?
60346, Peter Soda Rose.
Oh, right. Are you police officers or community?
We're police community support officers.
Do you want to be a police officer?
Thank you.
You'd have to grow a little bit, wouldn't you?
No.
Like me. What about you? You're too tall to be a police officer.
What makes you say that?
Just very briefly, the police have turned up now. Do you think you'll be getting your job back today? Do you work at the security of this house? Are you all ringing for a taxi? I think they're ringing for a taxi to go home. Can I ask you a serious question now? Is littering an arrestable offence?
Mate, I wasn't trying to litter. Someone handed me some paper and I put it on the car.
I'm going to milk you today.
Taking this seriously, are you?
That's your opinion, all right? You've asked me. Okay, whatever you feel that you have, the answer's still the same.
What I'm saying is,
I'm going to stop this conversation now because it's not going anywhere. All right, so we're going to head off, and you are going to do what you're
right, what I'm going to say
you're
is
gonna do.
thank you to you guys and you. I wish you would listen, because I think if you listen to public a bit more,
Okay.
it
Right.
would do everyone a favour.
Excellent. Awesome. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to go back to Sheffield now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You
lads.
come down
And-
from
and-
Very nice.
Yeah, and just before I go, you did
Very
say...
nice.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You did say it was a civil matter, didn't you? Do you believe it
I
was?
believe it. I believe it's a civil matter. Yes, I do
This
believe
is a
that.
civil matter.
Thank
I
you very
do
much.
believe it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Can I just take your name and number?
My force number is 12692.